Today we're diving into Fender Mustang Native, the brand new amp modeler included with Fender Studio Pro. It has over 30 amp models, over 70 Stompboxes built in, and it's just there for you. No additional purchase necessary. If you use Fender Studio Pro, you've got some killer guitar amps built in. And if you've never used guitar amp plugins before, now's your chance to check it out because it's a pretty cool way to work. There are basically three ways to record electric guitar in the studio. The first is the most obvious. Just put a microphone in front of a guitar amp like that deluxe reverb over there and record and have a great time. The second is to use some sort of an amp modeler. So for example, the Fender Tone Master Pro, this is something that can sit on the floor. It has all my tones built in, and then I just run a couple of cables out of the back of that into my audio interface to record that tone. That works well. I've done it a bunch. Sounds really good. The third option is to use a plug-in. So you plug your guitar directly into your audio interface. In this instance, I'm using the Quantum HD2 interface. And then all your amp tones are coming from some sort of a plug-in. Well, now Fender has a solution for all three of those. We've always had amps. You can always record with an amp. Tone Master Pro is a great option for an outboard modeling amplifier, but now we have the Mustang Native plugin, so you can get great amp tones directly in the software, no other hardware needed other than your interface. Now, if you've never recorded guitar through a plugin before, it's actually really easy. First thing, plug your guitar into the guitar or instrument input on your audio interface. I like to leave the gain knob alone. I don't like to add a lot of volume because I'm going to add the volume inside the amp, just like an amp does. That tends to get me tones that I like. Next, you're going to want to create a track and make sure you add the Mustang Native plugin to it. But you might notice when you press record and you go to listen, there's some sort of weird latency there. That's not good. I don't want to hear the guitar several milliseconds after I play it. This is something that happens inside of software. Fender Studio Pro makes it really easy to fix this problem. You don't even have to open a menu. Just open up the mixer, make sure you're looking at the mixer by pressing F3, and then just look down here on the bottom right-hand side. This is our main output. If we just hover over this button here with a D on it, it says Enable Direct Monitoring. All I got to do is click that button. It goes green. And then as soon as I start playing guitar again, now I'll notice, hey, there's no more latency. That's delightful. Once the latency problem is solved, you can now open up the plugin and dial in whatever tones you want. There are a whole bunch of presets here you can go through, or you can build your own thing from scratch, which is what I like to do. One thing to note, what are the benefits of using a plugin like this versus going through some sort of an amp outside of your computer? The main benefit is if I am recording and I dial in a tone that's a little too aggressive, too much gain, for example. If I recorded that on a guitar amp in the room, there's no way for me to go back and fix that later. It just is what it is. If we record through a plugin, however, I can record anything I want. And the only thing that actually gets recorded is the direct sound of the guitar, and I can go back and change the amp tone after the fact. So let me show you how that might work here. I could just record this guitar, play a couple of quick notes. Now check it out. If I turn the guitar plug-in off, this is actually what I recorded. That's just dry old guitar. I could change the amp entirely or just turn it back on. All right, so let me give you a tour of the plugin. First thing you'll notice is there is a tuner, and it's a big old honking tuner that fills up the whole screen. This is delightful. So if you've got somebody playing guitar across the room, as long as they can see a part of your screen, you're good to say, hey, you need to tune, here you go. And by the way, you could put this, just the tuner, on like an acoustic guitar track you're recording with a microphone. And so you could always have a big old tuner there without having to like lug out your pedal board or your clip-on tuner or things like that. As you come out of the tuner, you'll see this view, which is the standard one you're going to use a lot. But if you want to go through presets, click on this list view. And you can see there's a whole bunch of presets built in. So you can, I'm not going to go through them because you can do that on your own. But if you're the kind of person who likes to just see presets that other folks have dialed up, this is a great place to start. And if you want to just build your own from scratch, just scroll down till you find an empty one and select that. Click on preset view to come back here, and now we can build out what we want. It starts off by default with this studio preamp, which is just really just basically a preamp sound. Obviously, I want a guitar amp, not just a preamp. So I click this replace button, and now I can just scroll my mouse and go through all the different amp options here. And what's cool about this is I can actually hear the tone of these amps without ever selecting them. Just whichever one is pulled up, I can hear it, so I can audition things really quickly. So for example, I'm a sucker for the Princeton. Let's pick that. And that just gives you, it's kind of a one certain setting tone for that amp, but you can go through and hear them all. Then you add it to your signal chain and it pops up with the settings, and you can adjust these to your liking. It just makes me happy. That sounds lovely. So now from here, if you just want to go simple, one amp, dial in the tone you want, you're good to go. Yay. Do whatever you want. But if you want to add more plugins, you can do that with these little, you can either go to the add block thing here, or you can click one here. If you hit add block, it asks where do you want to add this next node, they call them. Let's say we want to add a reverb afterward. So now we get this, and the same thing applies. We can hear whatever parameter is pulled up just by just playing the guitar on this window. So I can very quickly audition, for example, these different reverbs here. Yeah, I like that one a lot. Let's say yes to this. And then it pulls up the settings and we can dial them in a little bit more. That already sounds really cool. And now we can click this on and off by just tapping this button. Now all of these parameters are automatable, right? So now we've gone out of the realm of just a pedal board. Now we could literally automate this reverb, not just to come on and off for different sections like you can with any plugin, but we can automate different parameters. So we can increase the level or the decay or the dwell or any of these parameters. And you can see some of them have multiple settings. I love this, by the way. Sometimes reverbs can be muddy. This allows me to roll off some of that mud. And you may have noticed already, when you click on a parameter, it gives you this big old thing here that allows you to adjust that parameter if you just want to click and drag here. This is a carryover from the way the Tone Master does it on the touch screen here, which is super nice. If you don't want to just touch the one knob, you just tap the parameter and can slide the parameter up and down here. Or you can click the plus and minus if you want to really fine tune it and not accidentally drag it too far, which is kind of cool as well. I like that a lot. And then to get back out of it, you just kind of click away and it shows you your plugins or shows you your stomp boxes and your whole amp rig. We can now move this around if we want. If we want to move that to the front, and then we can go and add other stuff. So if you want to make this more of a pedal platform, so that's our clean tone, we can turn that amp off or that reverb off, and then we want to add like a nice stomp box at the beginning. We could do that with like this Mystic Drive works real well. That could be cool. Let's add that. Let's give it some treble because this guitar is really dark. Let's not go crazy with the gain. Now, me personally, if I'm going to go overdriven, I almost always just prefer to just crank up an amp rather than drive in front of a clean amp. There's 1,000 opinions and they're all right. But for that, I would just change out the amp. Or the Princeton actually gets pretty gritty if you crank it up, which we can do here. And it gives you an output volume so it doesn't go crazy loud. One of my favorite things to do is to change the parameters of the amp to get more gain and to have that automated, for example, versus just kicking on a Stompbox. It's all to each his own, but that's a fun way to do it. So that gives you a very quick tour. Let me just go through the Stompboxes real quick so you can kind of see what's available. We've got categories here, but check it out. There's a whole host of like overdrives, which we're calling Stompboxes. Pretty much every tone you could want, including a bunch of overdrive, several fuzzes. Who doesn't love fuzz? Several fuzzes, a few octave things, some chorus. We're getting into chorus and vibrato. Now we're getting into flanger, vibratone. This vintage tremolo sounds delightful. Check it out. It's just a very simple, beautiful tremolo. But as we can see, we can go in and see there are a whole lot of Stompboxes here, including, we've stopped there at tremolo. It gets into phaser territory. I think there was a vibe in there. Now we're into some delays. This memory delay is really cool and thick. The tapeplex is super cool if you want like a slapback tape delay. Space delay is more ethereal. Then we get into all of these different reverbs. And then some other like the metal gates and a bunch of EQs, several different EQs. I like this one, especially on this guitar. It gets really thick in the low end, so I like to use this to roll off that 100 and 200 hertz. That's just a little bit much at the amp. There's even some different envelope filters and things like that, and a couple of pedal shifters as well if you want to do some pitch shifting. Lots of cool stuff available to you. Okay, now what about heavy tones? This is one of my favorite heavy tones currently on both the Tone Master and inside of Mustang Native, and it's this British color amp. Whoo, you crank this sucker. It's not right for every song, but for this song, it was delightful. This particular guitar has a lot of low end, so I added the EQ to roll off some low end here. Worked perfectly to help it cut through a little bit more. But here's what that sounded like. Here's kind of a higher lead part. And then here's just a simple rhythm guitar panned left and right. And then all those together with drums and vocals. There's no bass on this yet, but holy smokes, it makes me very happy. I mean, it's just this last part with the bend, it just makes me so happy. To me, that's just perfect. It's got all the aggression that I want. It's got plenty of low end. I can always EQ some of that out later if I need to. But I was able to dial it in real quick, which is probably my favorite part. I'm not having to sit and like dive through menu after menu. I just pull it up, crank the gain, adjust the EQ a little bit on the amp itself, and I'm getting tones that make me real happy. Whether you go all in on amp modeling plugins or just add this to your arsenal as one of the many tools that you use, you've now got some great tools available to you right inside Fender Studio Pro. Thanks for watching. My name's Joe. I'll see you in the next one.